I welcome you delegates from the 21 APEC member economies to this forum. Your presence today manifests your commitment to increase women's participation in the transportation sector. I remember attending the Women in Transportation Forum in Tokyo 2 years ago. It was my very first APEC forum. I later found out from Susan that it was the first Women in Transportation Forum. So I haven't missed much. I am 100% in attendance, now hosting the second Women in Transportation Forum. Well, ladies and gentlemen, during the 22nd APEC Economic Leaders Summit in China, our leaders recognized the pivotal role of women in the development and prosperity of Asia and the Pacific. Our leaders declared their continued commitment to taking concrete policies and innovative measures to further enhance women's economic empowerment and their access to markets, and ICT technology, eliminate all barriers that hinder women's economic participation, and ensure women's equal opportunities, participation, and benefit in innovative development, economic reform, and growth. Our sector, the transportation sector, plays a crucial role in this empowerment process. Transportation has two principal contributions. It allows for horizontal mobility, making the physical movement of people and goods from point to point simpler. And more enduringly, it allows for vertical mobility, uplifting women's conditions by providing an avenue for them to strategically address their needs. A transportation sector that takes into account the requirements of women supports development, employment, and health. Conversely, a transportation sector that fails to address the difficulties experienced by women excludes them. Inclusiveness and sustainable development go hand in hand. This Forum on Women in Transportation, or WIT, is aligned with this year's APEC Transportation Ministerial Meeting theme, driving economic growth through inclusive mobility and sustainable transport system. I am happy to note that this forum will carry out the Transport Minister's instruction for the APEC Transportation Working Group to build on its progress to develop a framework for collection of data and sharing of resources that will enhance opportunities for women in transportation and enable the measurement of progress over time. This forum will continue to raise the issues profile and create greater transportation industry collaboration by developing new tools and approaches that will promote inclusive mobility and sustainable development in the economies. The various collaborative works will expand opportunities in the APEC Women in Transportation's 4 pillars: education, access to jobs, retention, and leadership. The theme of navigating the way forward demonstrates the group's determination to synergize and concretize efforts to various document outputs, such as the Women in Transportation Framework, a roadmap for inclusion, which aims to inspire change and quantify the same, and the compilation of best practices. As we know, there is scarcity of data on women in transportation. Having a framework on data collection would likewise help collect and process information on the challenges and opportunities and progresses of women. During this forum, the delegates will have the opportunity to learn and share best practices through the lectures, panel discussions, breakout sessions, and case studies. I am positive that through these, you and your respective economies will be able to highlight the priorities, opportunities, and challenges, risk and implementation that will allow you to identify the best chances for success and to encourage further collaborative work among the economies. On our part, the Philippines has started initiatives to support women in this sector. A department order was signed in March 2012 by the former Secretary Mar Rojas, which mainstreams gender and development in the transportation sector through policies, programs, activities, and projects. It also strengthens the gender and development focal points in the central office and all our agencies as well. Another department order signed in August 2012 were the implementing rules to harmonize the gender and development guidelines for project development
implementation, monitoring, and evaluation. These two orders have paved the way for various initiatives to advance the women's advocacy, such as the conduct of the first Gender and Development Transportation Summit last November 2012. The summit aimed to define transportation's own gender and development agenda. Through this summit, the stakeholders in the public and private sectors were able to meet and agree to advance the cause of women to this sector that has for so long not only been male-dominated but also male-oriented. Admittedly, our economy has a long way to go to fully realize the goal of inclusive mobility, equitable development, and the advancement of women in transportation. We hope to learn a lot from you, as we wish that you learn something from the Philippine experience. I encourage your active participation in all the activities during this forum. As prime movers of the transportation industry in our respective economies in the APEC region, we all have the duty to promote development that is inclusive, equitable, and sustainable. At this juncture, I would like to thank the U.S. Department of Transportation for spearheading this project and for making it happen here in the Philippines. I would also like to recognize the APEC Transportation Working Group for their dedication in making projects like these possible. I reiterate the Transport Minister's recognition of this work. I know that the beach is not so far away, but the knowledge sharing is well worth the wait. We share your enthusiasm for another fruitful Women in Transportation Forum and hope that you will enjoy the Philippines, particularly here in historic Cebu, to show that even in transportation, it is more fun in the Philippines. Thank you very much and welcome.